Okay, so for this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to include some real-world maps into your Unity projects. For this tutorial, we're going to be using Mapbox. Google Maps no longer supports Unity, and Apple Maps requires licensing and so on. So Mapbox is the best to use, and Google Maps is within its framework anyway. It's completely free to use. You will need to create an account, and you will need to input some sort of billing information. But again, it is completely free. You need to worry about payment if you intend to use Mapbox for commercial purposes like a sat-nav system or travel plan, etc. And I'm going to show you how to set this all up correctly, and the Mapbox SDK comes with some template examples which we can build upon further for your own projects, and there's quite a lot you can do with this SDK. So without further ado, let's get into that. So as mentioned, first things first, you want to create an account for Mapbox. I've already gone ahead and done that. But as soon as you have created an account, you'll have access to download the SDK for Unity. I will leave a link in the description to the page where you can download it, but this will not be accessible if you do not have an account, so be sure to do that first. But once you do, and you have access to this page, you can go ahead and download the Mapbox Unity SDK. Okay, now that I have the package installed, I can go ahead to Assets, we can go to Import Package and Custom Package, and then we can go ahead and click our SDK. This might take a minute to install everything, as there's quite a lot included in this SDK, and depending on which version of Unity you're using, so I'm using 22.3.f1, it's the long-term support. This SDK is slightly outdated. Here we go, so this is everything. You want to include absolutely everything in this. Just ensure it's all ticked, all correct. And yeah, this is slightly outdated for the version that I'm using, so some errors in the console will show up, but I will show you how to fix them, and the SDK will work fine. There is just some sort of lack of functionality with the AR aspect of the SDK. Okay, everything's now installed, and I now have 5 errors. Again, that's what I mentioned with the AR side of things, it's the Google AR. I think this is because we no longer have support for this in Unity, but it's not a problem, this is quite easily fixable. So we can go ahead and open this up in Visual Studio. And what we want to do is identify the errors and just comment them out. So here's one of them. You can just comment that out. And more errors might flag up for not using that, which is fine. You can go ahead and comment these out. 4 errors. So there's one. Do the same again here. Comment these out. We can comment this block and this block. Save. There are 3 more errors. Comment AR renderer. And get rid of this if statement. And then we comment here out. It's fine. And then comment this one out too. Save. 2 more errors. Comment this one out. A few more frag up. That's fine. And let's get rid of that too. Awesome. One more. Because anything with these squiggly lines can get commented out, essentially. That's what we're going for here. Again, this is for AR side of things, so that's fine. We're not really using that. There we go. Provided you fix all these errors now, this will show. You want to say no, that's fine. Let Unity do its thing. And here we go. Cool. So we're all set up now. This screen is a good sign. Now, before we can access any of these templates, you need to provide your token. Your token would be displayed with your account that you made. So back to your account. Obviously, I will not be able to show you my token. Your token is individualistic for each of you. It's for security reasons, don't ever share your token, but it can be found here. You want to copy your token, drop back into Unity, and you want to paste your token into here and submit that. Provided your token's correct, you will now have access to all of these example scenes which use the maps, which is awesome. So depending on what you want to make, you can use these templates. It's completely up to you, depending on what your project is. In my case, I quite like this one, the city simulator. So if we go ahead and boot that open, this template example, awesome. We can now see this uses the maps. So let's jump out of that, play focused. If we just view this from the editor, you can now see we have access to this map, which is really, really cool. Again, this is all real world satellite imagery, so this is very real. You can now customize these as well. You can do some pretty cool things. So you can change your location. You can also expand upon this if you want to load in more chunks. It might tank your PC depending on which location you're picking and so on. You can also search where we want. So I'm not sure where the default is, but let's just set it to New York, Long Island. And if we run that again, voila, it will show us there. Now you can customize this further. You can toggle buildings and roads, points of interest. So if you want buildings, you can turn them off or on. If you want to show roads, you can also turn them off and on. And they're all individual game objects too, which is really cool. So if you were doing some sort of data visualization, this would be really cool. You could access roads and maybe show off a potential A-star algorithm, pathfinding going on there on the roads, or whatever you're really going for. If you picked one template and you're not entirely happy with it or you want to change it, don't panic. You can head to the Mapbox folder and then examples, and here they all are here outlined. It's just not in the graph. But if you open up one of these, the astronaut game, open up the scene, here you go. We have another template that you can use. So again, this comes with 8 of them, I believe, in total, and they're very good templates. I hope this tutorial was useful in getting maps into your Unity project. Relatively straightforward process, but you can do quite a lot of things with these packages. So best of luck with that. Cheers.